and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. It's another Why I Like sort of video, but it's not Why I Like a Doctor Who episode, oddly enough. It's Why I Like Star Wars. Now I do like Star Wars, obviously I don't mention it or, showcase it as much, my appreciation or passion for it on the channel. But basically, I do like it. I don't have any of the films, so, on DVD, that is. I've watched them all, pretty much, and I'm actually more hyped / excited for the Rogue One film than I was for Star Wars Episode 7. Now, basically, what I mean to say is, I like Star Wars, but I don't, if that makes sense. I like the universe, I just don't like the film trilogy, or the mainstream films feel there's too much sort of legacy behind them, and that they have to be pristine. If you're a true fan of Star Wars, you can't say, oh, I didn't like that scene, because then you get someone else who's immediately going to be like, proper Star Wars fan. But the thing is, I do like it. I like lightsabers. I like some of the, spaceships, the Millennium Falcon, the TIE Fighters, the AT-AT. They're all cool stuff. I just, as I say, I don't like it to the point where I'm obsessive about it like I am with Doctor Who. And even when I do like an episode a lot, I try and stay neutral all the time. So even though someone at college, for example, said to me that they didn't like City of Death, which is a brilliant, in my opinion, Tom Baker story, I was joking, and I said, oh my god, we can't be friends anymore, but I was joking. I respect his opinion, it's fine. It's not to his liking, fine. I still like it. You can respect someone's opinion and take their feedback on board and their criticisms about something on board without having to change your opinion. I think a lot of people don't understand that. Respecting someone's opinion is for some dumb reason. Apparently a lot of people think that's just changing your opinion to be the same as theirs. No, that's not respecting their opinion. That's just changing your opinion to suit their opinion. How's that fair? So, yeah, I didn't, after obviously he said he didn't like it, I didn't just go, I hate City of Death too, but I think there's such an emotional connection for a lot of people with the characters and the world / universe of Star Wars that, for example, if I said in the theatre, in the cinema, basically, where I watched Star Wars Episode 7, if I said, Chewbacca's kind of getting on my nerves, someone would have probably got mad, or a lot of people would have probably got mad, because a lot of people love his character, myself included, but that was just an example. But, I think people are so emotionally invested in this story and the universe and the characters that it sort of clouds their sort of rational part of the brain, clearly, that they think that it's completely fine to condemn anyone who has any other opinion. So for me, what I like about Star Wars, or what aspects of Star Wars I like, the comics. I've got one whole comic issue, which is a Star Wars Rebels issue, which I liked. I like the spoofs, so I'm looking over there at my DVD collection, and that includes 3 spoofs, which are Robot Chicken, Star Wars Robot Chicken Episode 1 and 2, which are phenomenal. They are really hilarious, and I love those. Real passion, but you can have basic knowledge about the Star Wars universe and really like, Star Wars Robot Chicken, and you can have extensive knowledge of it and really like the Star Wars Robot Chicken parodies. So yeah, I think they've definitely got a very good broad scope there. And then Spaceballs is recently something that my mum picked up for us, and I'm looking over there, and that is probably hands down the best Star Wars parody ever. I just love it, everything about it is so meticulously scrutinised, each and every element of Star Wars has been turned on its head in a comedic sense, and I love it. And again, with Spaceballs, you can probably have very basic understanding of Star Wars and have understood the first trilogy and watched the whole trilogy, and then watch that film and be like, that is a hilarious film, hopefully. Another aspect of Star Wars that I like, aside from the films, because again, they're too pristine, there's too much legacy, not so much hype, but legacy, I think because a lot of people have watched them at different ages, and usually, or at different times in their life as well. So, you know, they might be really going through a rough patch and have watched, I don't know, episode 3. So then they will have this sort of, you know, emotional connection to episode 3. Even though, you know, or Phantom Menace even though it's a bad film, some people will really like it because they watched it when it was, you know, when there was a rough patch in their life. And so there's that emotional connection to that film, you know. I feel a bit down. You will probably get that film again and rewatch that. So yeah, like when I'm down, I'll watch like Robot or something, you know, Tom Baker's first episode. You know why? Because it always uplifts my spirits. But yeah, the other aspect of Star Wars that I really like is the animated series. I love Star Wars The Clone Wars. That was really cool. You know, we got to see Anakin have a Padawan in the form of Ahsoka Tano, who I don't think has ever been mentioned, or, you know, she was born in the animated series is what I'm saying. You know, she began in the animated series. So, and to see that meticulous growth throughout episodes is brilliant as well. You know, we get the story of Anakin growing up from, you know, episodes 1, 2 and 3, but there's such, you know, quite a big gap between 2, or the 3 even, I meant to say. You know, whereas with an episode you can really get into the nitty-gritty of, you know, characters' development and their story arcs and stuff like that. So to see Ahsoka Tano grow from season, or not even season, but the first film, Star Wars The Clone Wars film, which I have got over there, from that to, you know, season 4 or 5, I think, of Star Wars The Clone Wars, is phenomenal because we see that meticulous growth of her character. Anakin Skywalker, again, we see that growth of his character and the change as well from the clones to the Empire, and everything changes in that show. And I really loved Star Wars The Clone Wars. Currently, though, the animated series to love for Star Wars fans and people who just like animated TV shows like myself, is Star Wars Rebels. I love that too. You know, we've got, again, I think with TV and also, yeah, especially TV just generally, I think it can be more commonly scrutinised / critiqued. I think, you know, because it's a little sort of window of opportunity to tell a story, and then the next part / chunk of the story, and then again that bit. Whereas a film is like this much of a like a story. And so when I say I don't really like, say, Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, I don't like Attack of the Clones. I don't mind Phantom Menace, but Attack of the Clones, let's go with that. I'll say I don't like that, and then someone will be like, oh my god, you don't like that? You know, but I think they think that I don't like the whole story, when actually I'm like, there's this bit, and that bit, and this bit that I didn't like. Whereas with an episode of anything, really, I think it's such a short window of being able to tell a story and storytelling that a lot of people can. I think it's more socially acceptable to critique / hate on an episode of something, whether it's, you know, Star Wars Rebels or Star Wars The Clone Wars or whatever. You know, I think there are episodes of Star Wars Rebels that I've thought, yeah, it was alright, I guess. Whereas then I can go from that to, oh my god, that was fantastic, that was phenomenal, like the Series 2 finale. That was sensational, I loved that. But the thing is, with films, I feel like there's such a big audience that, yeah, if the main consensus is everyone likes it, you kind of have to be like, yeah, I like this too, or you're just going to be hated upon. So, you know, and I like that spectrum as well, going from, you know, episodes of Star Wars Rebels that are really crap, some that are okay, some that are sensational, you know, whereas, as I say, with the films, the Star Wars films, for me, it's like you just have to say they're all brilliant, because if you don't, then you're not a proper fan or whatever, and it's ridiculous, you know, and you don't get that sort of spectrum of some of them are bad, some of them are really good, you know. The original trilogy, they're all fantastic. The prequels, the main the main perspective on those are that the first one's okay, the second one is usually hated upon, but some people like it, and the third one is probably the best one. I think that's what most Star Wars fans think. I don't know. I mean, as I say, I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I've got some bits and pieces of Star Wars merchandise here and there. And like, for example, I did review a while back those 2 Star Wars action figures. And the main reason why I even saw Star Wars Episode 7 was because I didn't really want it spoiled for me. I was actually going to wait till it came out on DVD, but, you know, again, what's the alternative? Doing that and then getting ruined, you know, that there's a certain scene or a certain part in the film that is like, you know, because again, but the thing is, what's weird is to think that, you know, imagine if the internet was around with the original trilogy, people would have already said and probably spoilt the sensational, you know, plot twist that was, you know, Luke, I am your father. What? Like, you can never replicate that because of the internet. As brilliant as the internet is, and, you know, I've grown up with it, well, kinda. That's another story for an entirely different day. But, as I say, you just cannot have a plot twist like that ever again in a film. You know, you can never go from, you know, this one character to saying to another, I am your father, because everyone would have probably tweeted it out or Facebooked it or whatever. You know, to be honest, I was very surprised that they went with that, you know, very earth-shattering, you know, scene in Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, because I'd have thought someone had ruined it by now, and a lot of people have kept their mouths shut, which is fantastically weird, and very ballsy, and daring on the Star Wars team's part, because again, I'd have thought they'd have just not done as something as earth-shatteringly daring with that scene, or those scenes, and that part of the film. But yeah, this has just been me talking about why I like Star Wars. I do like it, I do like lightsabers, I do like the spaceships, and I am absolutely ecstatic for Star Wars Rogue One, because again, it's not, you know, loads of people were on Twitter saying, oh, there's no lightsabers in the trailer, and it's like, as much as I like lightsabers, I like the more nitty-gritty sort of realism of this. You know, it's a real war, it's a real, like, problem, and the perspective of that one trooper and the AT-AT, like, and stuff, it was like, this is amazing, you know, that feels more Star Wars to me than, you know, Rey and Kylo Ren fighting each other a lot. I don't know why, but in my mind, you know, and yet the war, especially with Stormtroopers and Rebels, feels very much skated over in the original trilogy. In the prequels, it's the clones and the, you know, droids, and not most people who grew up with the original trilogy hate the idea of clones and droids and them battling, but that was at least more prominent in the prequels and that, and yeah, I love the idea of the Star Wars Rogue One. I actually, oddly enough, I don't know why, but I thought it was a spin-off originally from Star Wars, and I thought it was a TV show, like a Netflix original TV show, which, as well, I think that could work, like a Netflix original TV show, like Star Wars show, of some description. That'd be cool, you know, set between two of the films, or two of the worlds, or, yeah, two of the sort of films and the mythology. You know, as I say, I am a fan of Star Wars, but not to the point that I have got with Doctor Who, of course. And I do like it, I just don't like the idea of people saying, you know, oh, well, you don't like it because you don't defend it and white knight it, and it's like, you know, even Doctor Who, I love Doctor Who, but I don't always white knight it, you know, if someone, a lot of my friends at college know what Doctor Who is, but not all of them like it, you know, that's fine, they're still nice people and they're still my friends, and they like Star Wars a lot more than I do, that's fine. You know, they don't try and convert me and be like, no, Doctor Who's crap, Star Wars is better. Well, they do kinda, but in a jokingly light-hearted way anyway. So that's been me at the Doctor's Assistant 1. Thanks for watching, comment, rate and subscribe.